Okay, we got to get this started. Early. There, I preempted you. I am so tired. I don't even know why. I don't even know why. Why am I so tired? I'm so sleepy. I'm so sleepy right now. Oh my fucking god. Have I seen the latest George response? What the fuck is a George? George not found? Streams? My response? This is from 3 days ago. Didn't we literally look at this? I just rewatched that video. My video or his video? You put a video out already? Yeah, I know that. Not in the last 3 days. Okay, so what information is contained here? Look, I'm gonna be honest, okay? I have very little stomach to cover. I was interested in covering this to use it as like a springboard for discussing consent and like the responsibilities of talking to other people and blah blah blah. The problem that I have is that because the internet is the way it is, this guy's getting treated like a fucking serial rapist. So any like potential value in like analyzing his behavior is like completely gone. You know, it's so dumb. It's the complete flattening of all behavior down to like it's there's no functional difference between a person being kind of creepy or a person like being presumptuous or whatever, and the internet just calling them a rapist or whatever. So I don't know. 27-minute video. Contra said it best. Yeah, Contra said it best. That's true in the canceling video. Why are so many videos so freaking long these days? I don't know. TBH, quite a lot of people in Destiny's community said he did nothing wrong in a Okay, thank you for the update. Hasn't he done this with like 6 different similar incidences over the past so and so many years or whatever? Yeah, it's the meta. All ads are off in this video. Damn, why not fucking monetize it? That's crazy. Yeah. I'm so fucking tired, dude. Holy shit. Can we not do this? Can we not be tired? No, unfortunately, I have very little say in the matter. Distressingly. Oh, God. I got some good pants, though, before stream. That's good. That's important. Very good. Punching someone is basically genocide if you think about it. That is true. It's genocide of a person's good vibes. Because they're all gone now. Well, a lot of people just drop by to dislike but don't watch the video nuts. Many such cases. Yeah, I don't really know what you're supposed to do in a situation like this if you're in the position of George not found. I mean, I don't think that his, like, career is over or whatever. That's bullshit. It's more the idea that, like, any... Because sometimes it seems like the best response would literally be to go, yeah, the thing that I did is bad. I won't do it again. Fuck all of you. You're lunatics, by the way. And then leave. You know, that's sometimes it seems like that's the only thing that you can do. Like, you acknowledge fault to whatever fault there is, and then you walk away from it. Because a lot of people are just insane. Absolutely insane. This is a waste of time to do something interesting. You're right. There we go. You're right. I was really sleeping on that one. Yeah, no kidding, facetious. Saw that one coming. Yeah, that one was pretty obvious. Kind of walked headlong into that one. Oh my god, my eyeballs, they burn. Ooh. I got a normal amount of sleep last night too. What do you want to talk about? We're negative 2 minutes into the stream. Give me a sec. Jesus Christ. Close that. Okay. Yes, I did learn wrestling with the style. I'm getting better. You know, I'm getting better at that. Thoughts on talking about things? At the moment, pretty negative, I gotta say. I used to have guinea pigs, Koopa Boy. Show us the pants? No. That's true. Did you guys see the fucking Twitter discourse about DoorDash? Where there were all those there was that one big thread where somebody was saying like, why the fuck do you guys need to order so much goddamn DoorDash? And then everyone responded with the disability equivalent of mom dead, dad dead, fish dead, flushed fish, car broke down, school dead, you know. Yes, I saw the paraplegic anime girl. Yeah. It's the thing where it's like, hey, why are you all so lazy? And then everyone on Twitter responds with, did you know that every human being on Earth is paraplegic and has crippling anxiety? You know. The grocery store blew up. Well, that might be a good excuse to order DoorDash, actually. Sometimes I'm lazy and want a sandwich. Yeah, that's fine. If you use DoorDash to like get it because you're lazy, like fine, okay, whatever. Like everyone's lazy sometimes. I guess it's just all the people who normalize shit like that. It reminds me of that one time someone took a photo of a bunch of individually wrapped, already peeled oranges, and somebody was like, "Hey, isn't this really wasteful? Don't oranges come with a natural protective surface?" And then every response was like, hey, listen, for people who have no hands and just have nubs and have to like remove the skin of the orange with their teeth, this is actually much better for them or whatever. And it's fuck, dude, come on. Just say you're lazy. Why the bullshit? Okay. I'm not in favor of means testing, but I do think this, okay? I think that you shouldn't get welfare if you order DoorDash more than like once a month. I think that big government should check you out and see, hey, if you order DoorDash more than once a month, it's over. You're starving in the streets, boyo. Sorry. Goodbye. Goodbye. That's my like one thing. I don't give a fuck if you waste money gambling or on alcohol or like lobsters or whatever. It's DoorDash specifically that I'm drawing this line on right here. You could spend every welfare dollar on fentanyl for all I give a shit. I will bankrupt the country giving you fentanyl welfare money, okay? But if you buy more than one DoorDash order a month, it is over for you. You're cut off, okay? Grubhub, everything DoorDash like, okay? Everything in the DoorDash like greater family, you know? What about Instacart? Isn't Instacart when you order groceries, but not like meal? Instacart is when you order from a grocer, not from a restaurant, right? I think that's different. Yeah, that's different to me, I think. Um, yeah, that has to be different. That's definitely different from like, I want a sandwich, let me pay $40 for a single sandwich. Grocery delivery also makes a lot more sense on like a logistical level, right? If you think about the amount of energy and time expended in moving stuff around, DoorDash is like somebody needs to try like deliver this sandwich to me, this one singular sandwich and a Coke in 40 minutes. And the grocery delivery is more like, yeah, sometime tomorrow somebody's going to bring over the groceries, right? That seems like a much more like just in terms of invested resources, that seems like a much better idea. I think the state should subsidize that personally. I think that if you're like elderly or whatever, or like just, I don't know, there should be a way of like, if you're like fucking 75 or whatever, man, yeah, get your groceries delivered. you know, like, but you should just have that, I guess. I don't know. Can you explain why Republicans want to kill off welfare? They don't like it when black people can eat meals. Food with their mouth, you know? Apparently neither do you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I tried ordering a burger and fries from a local place, and Grubhub made it almost $50, but ordering delivery from the website ended up making it 30. Jesus. They already have old DoorDash for old people. It's called Meal on Wheels. Yeah, but that's DoorDash for old people. That's not the grocery delivery. Also, does Meals on Wheels still like meaningfully exist? People stopped talking about that when I was in like middle school. I haven't heard anybody mention it at all. Is it relevant? Oh, that's nice, Kakao. Depends in the city, but yes. Oh, okay. All right. That's nice, I guess. Sometimes called senior meals now. Hmm. Trump killed Meals on Wheels. Yeah. Fuck me, dude. I'm so sleepy. Order DoorDash when I feel like burning money. Dude, I'm well off, and even I feel my wallet fucking lighten in my pocket whenever I order anything from DoorDash. I try not to. Like usually it's like I don't know, feel like celebrating something. Like there's some event that's happened. But for the most part, like it's so fucking expensive, dude. It's crazy. Nice, Puzzlebub. I've never once used DoorDash. That's good. The hidden fees make no sense. Well, they make a lot of sense actually. It's because they want more money. It actually tracks perfectly, you know. It just feels bad to see the way the fees stack up, even if you can afford it. Yeah, it's also impersonal too. Meal deliveries are a tax on the lazy, the way lotteries are a tax on the stupid. You know, whenever I see stuff like that Twitter thread of all those Zoomers talking about how they have anxiety on their small beans and they can't cook their own food for whatever reason, it makes me wonder if the conservative line about personal responsibility is actually correct, and that in reality, all of these, like, economically anxious, can't afford their student's loan, dipshit Gen Z types, like, actually do just need to sit down and eat beans and rice for a while and then they'd be fine. I don't think that's true like broadly, but I think there's an element of truth to that. It's especially with gig economy tier bullshit, you know, because it's so easy these days to just flagrantly waste money, you know? Like, have you never felt that way? If you had a college friend and the college friend was like not in a good financial position, but they would also order a lot of food and go out to eat a lot and also get a lot of weed. And it's like, what the fuck you doing? You know, it's not even like a poor people shouldn't be able to enjoy things. Like they were fully doing it like too much, you know, just no discipline or self-control. Online purchases too, yeah. Same people who think fair jumping and shoplifting are good for society in the long term. Well, for what it's worth, okay, I don't think fair jumping in its current form is good for society. However, fairs shouldn't exist. Like, as a much in the same way that you don't need to pay a toll to go on the road, it's so fucked that in New York City to use the like massive, super expensive interconnected transit system that you need to pay money to get on and off it. Why? Like, why do you get to be in a car and just use the road for free? There's not a toll booth in front of everyone's driveway, you know? Except toll roads. Yeah, but toll roads just aren't that common. And toll roads are almost always private companies that, like, signed off on part of the expense of building a road, and sometimes not even, and on the condition they could, like, charge a toll there, you know? In some places, they're more common. Okay, over on the West Coast, I don't see them that often. Sometimes, but not that often. Do Americans pay a tax when their driver's license gets renewed? No, everyone in America contributes to, like, the increased cost of infrastructure on roads, you know? Much in the same way that everyone contributes the cost of infrastructure for building, like, subways or whatever. The difference is, at point of access, roads are free to use and subways aren't. It's dumb, you know? Gas tax too. Yeah, gas tax too, but, like, the point stands, I think, broadly. Also, gas tax does not cover the bills we're talking about for maintaining car infrastructure. Not even a little bit. If we dumped all the cost on maintaining car infrastructure, just on the gas tax, every drop of gasoline you put in your car would be worth, like, it'd be like liquid gold. You know, like you would put the spigot in the tank and hit the switch and just look at it. Just instantly you're bankrupt. You know. $20 gas. I don't know how much it would be, actually. Yes, I saw the delay. It's the hush money criminal trial. I don't really care about that one. I'm a debt collector for the Port Authority in New York, New Jersey, and the fucking tolls are everywhere over there. By the way, I don't agree with toll roads either as a concept. I don't think transportation is infrastructure. I don't think you should pay at point of access. We don't pay money whenever we turn on our taps for water. We don't pay money every time we activate an appliance that uses electricity. We fold those into these larger systems to pay for, because the idea of having, like, well-laid infrastructure is that it's supposed to facilitate travel and commerce. If you're denying that, if you're inhibiting that by, like, putting the cost right up front, you know, I feel like you're not really, that's not what it's for. Water isn't free everywhere. No. Like, I pay a water bill. I mean, when you turn on the water, it's not like a insert credit card to use water kind of deal. You know, like, you pay later, not at point of use. But if there are no toll roads, how else is the DOT supposed to get funds? Taxes. Big taxes. Big, heavy taxes. Big, meaty taxes. You need to tax based off miles driven for that or something. I just like taxes. Just tax more. Tax for fun, you know? Whatever. Tax, tax, tax. Who cares? Tax. Tax, tax, tax. Big tax. Yeah, but that's still per use, Jamie, you know? Like, it's just deferred payment. There should be a tax on paying your taxes. There is. It's called H&R Block. Americans, please learn how to do your own taxes. I promise you, it's not as tough as it sounds. You know, you will save, you will save quite a lot of money. You learn how to do that. Discount Goebbels, Elon Levy got demoted for almost sparking a diplomatic incident defending Israel too hard. Oh, this is the dipshit that Finkelstein walked out on, right? This is the guy where Finkelstein was like, nope, not debating an Israeli. Goodbye. And he left. And this guy got salty, and then it turned out this guy ended up being fucking Hitler. Oh, Galloway, not Finkelstein. Thank you, thank you. I think there are definite similarities between Galloway and Finkelstein. Yes, Galloway. Man, Galloway sure called that one, huh? Prominent English language government spokesman Ilan Levy has been suspended from his post after complaints from the UK government. Galloway is Hitler too? Galloway is a different Hitler, yeah. You know, sort of like a competition of the Hitlers. London reportedly raised concerns with the foreign ministry after Levy responded to a March 8 post on Twitter by UK Foreign Secretary David Cameron saying, "We continue to urge Israel to allow more trucks into Gaza as the fastest way to get aid to those who need it." Levy reportedly responded to the post by saying there were no problems with the capacity of aid trucks entering Gaza. Following his tweet, the British Foreign Office asked if the tweet, seen as attacking Cameron, was Israel's official position, Channel 12 reports. Levy was since suspended and has been at home for more than a week, noting he is unlikely to return. Nice. I like how Israel's general, diplomatic policy seems to be they can say whatever the fuck they want, and they don't have any self-control. So every once in a while, one of them tries a little bit too hard, you know? Every once in a while, one of them is like, wait, actually, hold on, I'm worse than you think. And they get struck down for it. It's very funny. God, that's funny. Yeah, it could also be because he'd incurred the wrath of Netanyahu's wife previously. News of his suspension comes on the same day that Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu bemoaned the fact that Israel had a dearth of spokesmen who could string two words together in English. Dude, more than half of Israel speaks English, right? I think the problem isn't the number of Israelis who speak English, because so many Israelis literally came from America, you know? They were like upper middle class Bostonites who wanted to go participate in a colonial project, the same way that like a Dutchman in 1652 might be lured to a boat to go down to South Africa by, you know, with a handful of silver and a promise of a plantation to own. I think the problem is just that you're all fucking idiots in the same way that fascists are so often. Yeah, Sarah Netanyahu doesn't like this guy, apparently. Well, that's funny. Love that. At this point, the IDF has a worse record than Hamas at killing kids. Oh, they have for a long time. That's not new. Second Amendment guys are finding out. Yeah, the N-Wokeness account fucking blocked me ages ago. There we go. Holy shit, Obama appointed federal judge Sharon Johnson Coleman just ruled that illegal immigrants have a right to carry guns. Buckle up, folks. Hell yeah, we love our freedom, don't we, folks? Ruling from U.S. Supreme Court means the attempt to ban an illegal immigrant from possessing firearms is unconstitutional, judge concludes. Nice. I mean, this is pretty obvious, right? It's the Second Amendment. Like, you might notice that people who aren't citizens still benefit from the same rule of law as people who are citizens, right? Like, we've never heard a story of a citizen just being arrested for whatever because they have no freedom of speech, or a non-citizen being arrested because they have no freedom of speech, or troops being interred at their house, right? Like, this is obviously the case. But aren't they not people these days? I'm sure that's where the conversation is going to take us, yeah. What is this? Oh, right, some good funny news, you know? I love news that is both good and funny. That's my favorite kind of news. One that hits both of those points. Fox News anchor Sandra Smith cuts away from Peter Navarro's speech outside of prison. He finally got, he's going to prison today, right? Yeah, former White House trade advisor. This is the first member of the Trump administration who is going to jail, or going to prison, sorry, over January 6 related charges.
Of absolute testimonial immunity. And it was only with my case that somehow that has changed. And here's where the homework is, because the big constitutional separation of powers.
He was charged with contempt of Congress, not for Jan 6. Wait, wasn't that related to Jan 6? Hold on, am I perhaps mixing up two 2 stories? Contempt of Congress conviction, but didn't it involve, let me see. Yeah, was convicted of contempt of Congress for refusing to comply with a subpoena from the House committee investigating January 6. He has been directed to surrender to the Bureau of Prisons by 2 p.m. ET on Tuesday. Yeah. So he was investigated and refused to comply with a subpoena in that investigation regarding Jan 6.
Are these: can Congress compel
What's the sentence?
a
I think
senior
like
White
4
House
months.
advisor, what they call the alter ego of a president, to testify before Congress? And executive
You can just refuse a subpoena. Oh, yeah, you can just get arrested too. There are lots of things you can just do, you know.
The privilege goes back to George Washington and his remarks to the Congress regarding the Jay Treaty. And he said very simply and clearly, succinctly, elegantly, that to write to the Congress, he said, I cannot command you as members of Congress to come to me.
Come.
You cannot command me to come to you.
Come.
And the reason is the
All right, and he will be
separation of
reporting to that prison 2 p.m. Eastern time there in Miami to serve his 4-month prison sentence. He began by saying, not about me. He said this is about a crippling blow to the justice system. To fact check there, it is no longer an alleged crime that he'll be serving this 4-month sentence for. He has obviously been convicted, and there was no evidence that that would have excluded him per executive privilege from testifying. So John Roberts just on Monday refused.
That's not, yeah, I like the idea that this has gone far enough that even Fox News has to fact check it. Fox News backed off the Jan 6 stuff pretty quickly because Murdoch didn't want, like, he thought it was a bad sell, basically, you know? Even Tucker Carlson was pretty moderate, for him at least, with his language on it. I think he's changed since, of course, because he's been dropped by Fox News, but...
to delay his prison time. He continues to appeal his conviction, Peter Navarro, for refusing to testify before Congress for his involvement in efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. 74 years old.
We love our woke truth. 74 years old. Doesn't he look a little bit like a mix of Biden and Clint Eastwood right here? Like, I really think he does. I think he's selling that mix pretty well. What is this? This just in, conservative influencer and former Zeldin intern Isabella DeLuca. Oh, this bitch is a Nazi, like an actual Nazi, like she's JQ posted. She blocks like a motherfucker too, if I remember correctly. Has been charged for breaching the Capitol on January 6th. We love a lady who stands by her principles and helping steal a table that was later used to attack police. What would you call this? Is this, I would say this is weapons procurement for terrorist activities. 1,000 years in prison. What do you guys think, huh? 10,000 years? Man, I really hate it when they do that thing where they capitalize every letter. Repped for Paul Gosar, also a Nazi. Contributor on Newsmax and Real America's Voice. National Treasure 4 had a weird plot. No kidding. No kidding. Wait, why'd they do that? Why they procure the table? I don't know. If you were breaching the Capitol and what you thought was an insurrection, wouldn't you also steal the table? Like, if you were in that position and you thought, like, yeah, this is it, it's happening, would you not also take memorabilia? I don't think, if you're in the, like, you're already in the building, right? It's not like you like, you know, shit or get off the pot. You're already in there, you know, you might as well get a table or something. I'd steal something cooler. Well, other people probably stole the cool stuff faster, you know? I don't think she was the first one in there. I would have stolen the Constitution. Who takes a table, though? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the judge will ask her that when she's, you know, on trial. I don't know. Be like the guy that shit in Pelosi's office. Yeah, that guy's a king. Real funny. I mean, Russian soldiers were stealing toilets, right? Yeah, but Russian soldiers were stealing toilets because they didn't have any, you know? Like washing machines. Like, that was purely needs-based. That wasn't a trophy or anything. Bitches, you dumb. This is an IKEA table. Hey, this is some more, like, good advice, okay? For anyone who's a little short on cash, never go to IKEA. Their furniture is dog shit, okay? Also, they lay out everything in a way that's designed to make you buy stuff you don't need, okay? If you want good furniture, go to, like, a consignment or secondhand furniture store. You'll find some shit there that was made in, like, the 80s. Most furniture made these days fucking sucks because we don't have old-growth wood anymore, you know? Like, you can find a table that's still fine from 100 years ago, but modern tables break relatively easily because, again, like, it's pretty hard to get old-growth wood. But Blahudge? Yeah, I guess. That's true. Go for the Blahudge. The Blue High, or whatever it's pronounced like. Hold on one second. Vermin is playing like D&D or something, and they must be having a lot of fucking nat 20s rolling. Jesus. Next session I play with them, I'm killing their character. All right. I've been wanting to look at this one for a while. Let me see. Where is it? This one. This is another great example. I assume I haven't seen it. You know, I haven't seen its contents, but another rousing example of Bernie Sanders demonstrating what a counter-revolutionary traitor he is by not wanting a fascist to win and become the most powerful person in the world. Friendly reminder, Bernie could have just been finishing up his second term completely healthy and lucid. Well, he probably would have been aged by being the president, but yeah.
And thanks very much for joining me. In case you haven't heard, there's an election coming up this November.
Yeah?
And it's the most important election in the modern history of our country.
But Bernie, they always say that. And as you know, because the liberal establishment always says it, that means it can't be true this time. The only relevant information we need to have to determine whether that claim is true or not is whether or not it's been said before, not anything else.
Now, I fully understand that while President Biden has some very significant accomplishments, which he has every right to be proud of, there are a number of areas where the administration's response to important issues has been inadequate or, in the case of Gaza, dead wrong.
Hey!
In my view, and the view of most progressives, the United States should not be giving another nickel to Netanyahu and his right-wing extremist government to continue their horrific war against the people of Gaza.
It's pretty good.
We also need to do a lot more.
But Bernie, even though what you just said is a perfect representation of the left-wing position of this issue, you didn't specifically say the word genocide. Bernie, why are you in favor of what Israel's doing in Gaza? If you weren't, you wouldn't have not used the word genocide.
Work in addressing the massive level of income and wealth inequality, low wages, the housing crisis, our dysfunctional healthcare system, totally inadequate childcare, student debt, and the absolute need for affordable higher education, among many other issues. But while we may have our disagreements with Biden, it's important to take a minute to think about what a Trump presidency would mean to our country and, in fact, the world. If you believe in democracy, and I know you all do, if you believe in
very
science,
presumptuous.
if you believe in justice and workers' rights, let me be very clear. The next several months will be the most important in modern American history.
Vashi said we shouldn't give another nickel to Israel, which means he wants to mint billions worth of pennies. Yeah, exactly. What he's saying is he wants to bury the Gaza Strip in copper. Bernie, you monster.
Yes, Donald Trump is a pathological liar. He's a racist, a sexist, a xenophobe, a homophobe, and a religious bigot.
Mm-hmm.
Yup, Donald Trump has denied the election defeat that he experienced and is undermining American democracy every day, peddling conspiracy theories and converting the Republican Party into a cult of the individual.
A process which was basically completed just a few days ago, with Donald Trump loyalists fully taking control of the RNC, the party itself, getting rid of dozens and dozens of like old guard party loyalists, removing them, and yeah, no, just like fully.
Yep. Donald Trump has contempt for a free media and has encouraged violence and the never-before-seen use of the military and federal agents against U.S. citizens. But if you believe Donald Trump's first term was dangerous, I want you to think for a moment about what a second term would look like.
The difference is so massive, man. The first Donald Trump term was like, we knew he was a liar, but most people thought he was a joke. He got into office, honestly didn't accomplish very much. You know, it was mostly like a representative thing. He spent a lot of his first term arguing with non-MAGA Republicans, you know. He wasn't like a perfect front for the, you know, for the movement. Nowadays, though, not really the case. Many such cases, Blank Dude, too.
If Donald Trump is elected this November,
the federal judge appointments were very important. Yeah, they were very important, but they also weren't really an indication of his ability to do much. That's literally the president's job. I mean, like, he wasn't able to... His ability to actually get stuff done was really unimpressive. Like, obviously, getting Supreme Court justices to a point was a layup. That was influential, but, you know.
The fight against climate change is over. Period. It's the end, and the people of this planet will have lost.
Okay.
Not only does Donald Trump believe climate change is a hoax, but he has and will once again appoint agency leaders and judges who will undermine our ability to move toward energy efficiency and sustainable energy. And if the United States retreats from the fight against climate change, countries like China, India, and the rest of the world will follow. That would have irreversible implications for the future habitability of our planet, for our kids, our grandchildren, and for future generations. If Trump is elected in November, the already obscene levels that we are now experiencing of income and wealth inequality will only get worse. In his first administration, Trump signed tax cuts into law where 83% of the benefits went to the top 1%, while at the same time he raised taxes for middle-class families.
Is he kind of taking away agencies from other countries that might keep climate change even if the U.S. isn't? No, because the U.S. is, like, we are the leader of the world, basically. It sounds arrogant and chauvinist, but it's also true. We're the largest economy. We have enormous political power. If we decide to take things one direction or the other, it massive sway all around the world. It's especially important for us to do this because India and China have much better excuses than we do for polluting. India is rapidly expanding and developing, and China, while largely developed, still isn't fully developed as America is. So in terms of like every country's respective ability to rely on and invest in, you know, renewable energy, America can do it. America has the money to do it. India doesn't. You know, like, they can make moves one way or another, but, like, all we'd really be doing is paving an easier path for them. Also, think of the Saudis, right? The Saudis are basically, like, you know, one of the big cartel forces in moving oil around, and every country needs oil right now, everyone. And they're invested in making sure countries don't move towards green energy. America has a lot of influence on Saudi Arabia, and vice versa.
during this current campaign, Trump has promised to extend those tax cuts for the rich and to lower the corporate tax rate for companies that are making record-breaking profits. If Donald Trump is elected again in November, we can expect him and the Republican Party to escalate the attacks on women's reproductive health in this country. No, it was not enough for Trump to brag about appointing justices who overturn Roe v. Wade in this country. He and many other Republicans want to go further. They want a federal abortion ban, and that's what they will strive for if he is elected.
And contraceptives. Don't forget the GOP is also invested in the banning of contraceptives, because that's also a big part of their broader desire, which is sort of to relegate women entirely to second-class citizenship in ways that don't technically involve just legally making them second-class citizens.
This November. If Donald Trump is elected again, it is likely, and I say this with a heavy heart, but it is likely that the almost 250-year experiment of American democracy is all but over. It goes without saying that Trump tried to overturn the results of the last presidential election, but his attack on democracy goes far deeper than the violence of January 6, 2021. If Trump wins, you can expect more extreme gerrymandering, more election workers being harassed and threatened, more young people and people of color being denied their right to participate in elections. It does not end there. If Donald Trump is elected, he will once again attempt to overturn the Affordable Care Act and throw some 32 million Americans off of the health care that they currently have. If Trump is elected, he will take gigantic...
That would also be another great dog chasing the car moment, because I guarantee you that a bunch of people who have been voting for Trump this entire... Like, so many of the people propping the Republican Party up are boomers and people who don't have a lot of money. So as their, like, Social Security gets cut, retirement gets raised, or retirement age gets raised, ACA gets cut, they get thrown off insurance, and they all just fucking die. Like, just another phenomenal instance of, you know, the screwing themselves. Of course, if we don't even have a democracy anymore, it won't matter, so.
Leaps backward on issues of education, gun control, criminal justice reform, and immigration. And if Trump is elected again, it would strengthen the hands of authoritarian leaders all over the world.
Welcome back.
Leaders like Orbán in Hungary, Putin in Russia, and many other countries such as Saudi Arabia, the Philippines, and elsewhere, all over the world. Demagogues and authoritarian leaders would rejoice if Trump gets elected. So, my friends, that is what is at stake this November. So the question is, what do we do about it?
Bernie Sanders says that you should sign up for Progressive Victory, because you know, we're gonna do a bunch of cool Progressive Victory stuff. You know, we're gonna go and make sure that progressives make it through their primaries, so we don't cede the Democratic Party entirely to neoliberals. And in the general election, we're gonna win. We're gonna win bigly. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Well, in my view, it goes without saying that we have got to do everything we can to defeat Donald Trump and to re-elect Joe Biden. No excuses. But we also have another very important task in front of us. We must do everything possible to re-elect our progressive friends back to Congress against the enormous opposition and the millions and millions of dollars of special interest money that is being thrown against
That's what we're doing.
We must also do our best to elect new progressive leaders at the local, state, and federal levels. We must also work together all of us throughout this country to push President Biden
That's
to
exactly
enact
right,
a
Zoff.
progressive agenda for his second term. An agenda that makes clear that he is fighting for working families and is prepared to take on the money and the power of Wall Street and the corporate world. So, my friends, this is a monumental moment. And one thing that we cannot do is bury our heads in the sand. Complacency is not an option. We've got to stand up, we've got to fight back, and we've got to make sure that the world and the country that we leave our kids and future generations is something that we are proud of. So thank you all very, very much. I look forward to working with you in the months ahead.
I can't believe that he could have been president, man. The goddamn timeline shift. We could have been in the good timeline and we're not. I read Democracy is at Stake and immediately thought this was about Helldivers 2. I need to touch grass. 2.5k likes. Glad to see Bernie still popular with young people. Good lord. Hold on 1 second. I had a really annoying straight hair over one of my mustaches, or mustache loops, arcs, wings. Very annoying. It's like, you know, you trim your beard, and then every time you feel your beard, it feels like it's just a little bit off. Have you seen the Ukrainian-backed Russian resistance video? No? You know, Sisyphus55 finally made that follow-up video. 2 hours and 4 minutes. Wow. Maybe I'll have to take a look at that at some point in the future. Not right now. With how I feel, that'll be the length of this entire goddamn stream. Yep. Links. Yep. Links. Yep. Yeppers. Yep. Dun. Yep. Yep. Make this stop. Nintendo gonna shoot you? They would. Supreme Court lifts hold in Texas law letting police arrest migrants who illegally enter United States. Cool. Do we actually have a relevant video at the top of a news article for once?
But that's likely not the final word on this issue.
Fox 4's Dan Godwin live to explain. Dan?
Well, Lauren, as Brandon alluded to, this latest order from the Supreme Court is not going to be the last of the battle over this Texas law, but
this guy a robot?
are savoring what is at least a temporary victory for them. On Monday, the nation's highest court extended a stay against SB 4 indefinitely. The order from Justice Samuel Alito means the controversial law cannot go into effect while legal challenges to it make their way through the court system. SB 4 allows any law enforcement officer in the state to arrest anyone suspected of entering the country illegally. They would then go before a judge to face the possibility of jail time here or be given the option to return to a border crossing. The state representative who carried SB 4 in the...
I'm sorry, what was that? What is this advanced police detainment tactic of wrapping a metal chain around their belly like you're about to, like, hitch all of them to a cart?
Representative who carried SB 4 in the Texas House is confident the law will eventually be upheld.
I think it'll create change, and it will act as a deterrent to illegal immigration. We're not against immigration. We're only against illegal immigration. SB 4 only addresses illegal immigration. It's badly needed.
And we applaud the Supreme Court of the United States for blocking this law, which we knew that was discriminatory, was unconstitutional.
Opponents of SB 4, like Mesquite Representative Victoria Niave Criado, say it mirrors an Arizona law known as the Show Me Your Papers law, the heart of which was struck down by the U.S. Supreme Court as unconstitutional. Supporters of the law believe the nation's high court could be waiting for the Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals to hear oral arguments on SB 4. That hearing is scheduled for April 3rd. Whatever happens there will be appealed again.
Nice, great. Love our appeal process. Nothing ever happens. Today, the court invites further chaos and crisis in immigration enforcement. Justice Sonia Sotomayor wrote in dissent, joined by Justice Kentucky Brown Jackson. Texas now immediately enforces the law imposing criminal liability on thousands of non-citizens, requiring their removal of Mexico. Separate dissent. Law flatly inconsistent with the court's past decisions, which recognize the power to admit and remove non-citizens lies solely with the federal government, the department told the Supreme Court. Yeah, that to me is the wild thing. Like, obviously, Texas wanting to do some kind of big deportation thing, like, that's one thing, but the process of removing people from the country has historically been the purview of the federal government, you know? Like, that's federal government business. So Texas is being given permission by the Supreme Court to just do its own thing. In contradiction of federal law. That's cool. They're trying to force migrants to other states. Well, they're trying to force migrants back to Mexico. And Mexico has said that it will not accept deportations from Texas, so... Mexico's top diplomat for North America rejected the Supreme Court's ruling, saying immigration policy was something to be negotiated between federal governments. Yeah, like, think about it. Texas doesn't have a diplomat in Mexico. America can communicate with Mexico. Mexico can't really communicate with Texas, not in the same way. It's not a nation, you know? It doesn't work that way. They don't have ambassadors. There's not an embassy. Yeah, having a state do immigration law is fucking insane. Mexico will not accept deportations made by Texas under any circumstances, the country's foreign ministry said on Tuesday in response to the Supreme Court decision to allow Texas to arrest migrants across the state without... Woo! Is there going to be more people calling for secession? Republicans are interested in cooing the entire country, not just leaving with Texas. What happens when Mexico closes their borders to us? They can't. Mexico doesn't have the resources to secure their entire border with us. It's not like Mexico likes the fact that a bunch of people, like, flood through them to go over into America. Violate human rights. Generate hostile environments for more than 10 million people of Mexican origin living in Texas. I think that the Republicans should make Texas blue by being personally racist to every single Mexican in Texas, you know? I think that Texan state officials should go up to every Mexican in the state and say, like, hey, hombre, show me your papers. You're not some kind of illegal Mexican alien invader, are you? And then all of them vote blue, and we get like a 60-40 split, and Texas goes blue. And everything is right. Oh yeah, I saw this. Texans' Social Security in question if state secedes. It's not going to secede. Only Texans believe it can. If we secede, do we still get our Social Security monthly checks? One user wrote in a Texas Patriots for Secession Facebook group. According to Social Security experts, the answer to that question is a bit complicated. It's not. It's not. It's really not. If Texas seceded from the United States, which won't happen, but if it did, if they did, no, the United States federal government would not continue to hand out payments. I'm really sorry, they wouldn't. They would simply stop. If Texas isn't a part of the U.S. anymore, it'll need to figure out a new way to help these people, Michael Ryan, a finance expert who runs MichaelRyanMoney.com, told Newsweek. This is a big job, and Texas will have to be really smart about how it handles its money to make this work. Huh, well, I guess that's true. Brexit type thinking is so common. Have your cake and eat it too type shit. Yeah, literally, you know, like I want, like, we should Brexit, but also why is stuff imported from Europe getting more expensive? Hello? Hello? Well, thank you for the write-up, Newsweek. While Mexico has served as the U.S.'s immigration enforcer, often discouraging migrants from massing at the border, the country has also publicly pushed for two key policies to address the root causes that force people out of their home countries, such as poverty, violence, inequity, and climate change, and expand regular pathways for migration. Well, that's nice. Last week, President Andrés Manuel López Obrador of Mexico said his administration was proposing that the Biden administration give legal status to at least 5 million undocumented Mexicans living and working in the United States. We should do that. I agree. He also called on the U.S. to suspend sanctions against Venezuela and lift the blockade against Cuba, saying that such measures would reduce migrant flows from those countries. That is true. I say they come crawling back after winter when their power grid explodes after 2 days. Yeah. They haven't done a very good job divesting. Yeah, child of the gods. No, it's the idea that Texas can secede is still a very pervasive myth. You know, people genuinely believe this. I remember being taught when I was a kid, you know, that Texas could do that because it was a provision in its constitution as a state. It's not. But I was just told that. Even Quebec has a better chance of succeeding? Probably. I mean, secession is illegal and would be functionally an act of war, so I guess it's really just, can Quebec hold itself off from the rest of Canada more effectively than Texas can the rest of America? I don't want Quebec, Tanky Annihilator. Nobody wants Quebec. I'm unfortunately Texan, and it's genuinely so concerning how crazy some of the common beliefs in that regard here are. Yeah, well, national mythology, or I guess state mythology, you know, in this case. My eyeballs feel like they're going to fucking explode. But wouldn't a secession allow the U.S. to reconquer and turn Texas blue? Yeah, that would probably be the functional outcome of secession. It would basically just be like, oh, okay, so Texas is now a foreign country and land that we consider ours. How'd that work out last time, you know? What happened the last time America wanted to make the landmass known as Texas part of America, you know? Like, like what? It's just, there's literally historical precedent for this. It has oil too. It's true. It does have oil. Texas is famous for having oil. You might have an eye strain migraine. I don't have a migraine. My eyes just hurt. Don't worry. I never get migraines. I spec'd my biostats into migraine prevention, but it ended up with a weakness and tension headaches. A woman in CT attacked a police station? Oh, real activism, huh? What? Don't just link stuff from ages ago with nothing to... This is from 5 months ago. Like, okay, you know, it's you're just like linking me a fun video you saw. Women do be shopping. I guess we'll see. Surveillance footage of Connecticut woman opening fire inside police station. We're always doing this. Huh. This, you shouldn't do that with a gun. Like, guns are pretty durable, but, like, you know, you can damage them. She's hitting the glass with the gun in the optimally wrong way. Like, she's hitting with the tip. Okay, she shoots the door there. It looks like that activated something. This woman looks drunk or high as fuck. She's probably like fucked up on some drug or something. Dude, like, look, holy shit. Remarkable form. She seems off. I mean, yeah. Look at how she's holding the gun. What are you doing? She needed the strength of her other hand to pull the trigger. Look, she couldn't do it, see? She had to bring her other finger up. I'm surprised she can stand. An entire, like, bottle of Xanax before this. Shooting the bulletproof glass. Yeah, I don't... It's police station gas. Or glass. You know, I don't think... Oh. She's done? Okay, cigarette. All right. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. What was that phenomenal Okay, okay. I was looking at chat. I thought she might have pointed at her head for a second there. She's hella drunk. I think this is like Xanax or something. This doesn't look like alcohol to me. Some kind of downer. Oh, there's someone on the other side of the curtain. Where are the cops? They're chilling. They're on break, okay? The other side of the curtain just moved, so I think the cops are here, though. They noticed somebody firing a gun in the goddamn... Is that it? It's the end of the video? Is there anything more? Oh! Oh, wait. The lads are finally here. They're peeking. Oh, damn. Oh, she's out for blood. She's shooting at the door. These cops are literally like video game guards. What was that noise? Oh, she's done now? Okay. She run out of bullets, probably. We're done now? Whose footprints are these? Bullet hole. Oh, still? She yells really loud, and the goon squad emerges with the taser. Nice. Classic. Oh, from both ends. Wait, there really was fully like an entire fucking what? Where were they? She was out here for like 2 minutes. I didn't know how small of a station this was. Like it could have been like 2 people, you know, like eating donuts or something. Why though? What's her motive? I don't know. They were letting her have her moment. Yeah, I guess, you know, glass is bulletproof, whatever. They were scared Vosh didn't want to get shot. Yeah, not to be like, I don't know, not to like defend cops or whatever. I also don't want to get shot personally. But that still doesn't really explain the 2-minute response time here. I guess I know that police stations are just regular buildings, just with a little bit more reinforcement in some places, but you'd still think in a situation like this, there's some part of me that's thinking like, where's the button they press that floods the lobby with sleeping gas, you know? Like, where is that? What we spend so much money, so many tax dollars on our police, and they don't even have the big red button that floods the lobby with sleeping gas. And I don't understand. I ain't a bootlicker, but I wouldn't want to exchange fire with somebody tweaking. I'll get hurt and they wouldn't feel it. Well, that's one of the big reasons why that whole like cop warrior mentality training bullshit heavily emphasizes the prominence of drug use because, like, again, not to be defensive of the cops or whatever, but if there is one situation where you definitely are incentivized to use more force than is strictly necessary, it's when going after anybody who's hopped up on some like certain drugs because all of the logic for like people stop when they're hurt stops working or at least it doesn't work as reliably, you know. Yeah, taking one puff of weed and this guy's tanking like 6 9mm bullets to the chest. Yeah, super meth, exactly, like what super meth can do. Jesus, honey, yeah. There was a bit of a guy on PCP getting tased and shot and looking at the cop like he was stupid. Yeah, drugs are pretty wacky. No worries, user test account. There was a guy in my city who crashed a car and fought 4 cops while getting tased, sprayed, and beat with a baton like he was invincible. Don't I feel like the world is a better place when there are guys like that, you know? This is a return with a V thing, I think. It's very important to have guys occasionally just do that. What if cops could shoot stun bullets like in Star Wars? Yeah, sadly, there's not actually any way to safely stop a person without risking killing them. It's not actually possible. It's like how in video games and movies and stuff, it's possible to non-lethally take down guards or whatever. That's not a real thing. If you do anything that forcefully puts a person to sleep, it means that you fuck with their brain. Like you're turning a brain off. There's not a safe way to do that except literally making them fall asleep. And the best way you can do that is with dispersion of like well, gas, right? Like the stuff they give you at the dentist or whatever. So yeah, that's the closest thing you can do to like put a person to sleep. And even then, anesthesiologists get paid a lot because it's a very dangerous uh, practice, and people can still die. Then you mess up dosage and kill everyone in the room. Yeah. So cops should carry around blankies and warm milk. Yeah, exactly. I feel like net guns and tranq darts sound okay. Tranq darts would kill like a lot of people though. Like a tranq dart would, like, there would be a specific hypothetical person that it would work perfectly on, but for a lot of people who are, say, larger or more resilient, it wouldn't be enough and they'd be, like, fine, or they'd get high and it'd be more of an issue, or you would kill them, you know? That's why you need very specific dosages. The reason they can get away with doing that for animals is because we don't care as much if the animals die, basically. Like, tranq darts are not safe on animals either. They tend to be more durable. Like, if you're trying to tranquilize a bear or whatever, it's like, okay, it's a bear, right? Like, they are a bit more durable. There's a little bit more, like, leeway. But animals will often die after being tranked, you know? It's just, they're animals, so. Yeah, anesthesiologists make a lot of money. Then underdose it. If they're netted and weak, we can arrest them, right? Sure, but some people could still be, like, potentially allergic to the drug, or they could react poorly to it because they have other underlying illnesses. And it takes a while to take effect, too. Tranks are not an instant thing. What about a big butterfly net? True. Also, if an animal gets brain damage, you can't tell. That is actually true, yeah. If a human gets brain damage, you can tell immediately because we use our brain for a lot of shit. But if you give, like, a brown bear brain damage, it wakes up and it just wanders off. Like, it acts exactly the same. Like, a lot of the times you can't see that. It's just dumb now and it just wanders off, you know, whatever. Good luck. As long as it can still swipe salmon from the river or whatever. I feel like you can tell. Yeah, that's knowing whether or not a grizzly bear has brain damage is not in the list of things that I know. Lion with Down syndrome? I love him. Hello? He looks like those lion dog statues that the Chinese would carve. You know what I mean? Because he's got a wider, flatter forehead. I love him. What if we sent in succubi to give people the soul-sucking gluck glucks to knock them out? I mean, you hit on an important topic, which is like, yeah, what if the best way of stunning a person non-lethally is to just distract them with like a beautiful, you know, succubus or incubus or something to that effect. They all like cop squads need a model with them, so the model can like, you know, do stunner poses and sort of like razzle dazzle people. What about bullas? I feel like in real life, bullas would kill a lot of people because the balls would just like hit them and concuss them, you know. The lion might be a result with inbreeding. Oh, I don't know. You aim for the legs, dumbass. Okay. If they trip and hit their head, that'll kill them. That's not actually Down syndrome. White tigers aren't a real subspecies. While tigers are made by inbreeding, that tiger is severely inbred. All right, I think we should inbreed more tigers if it makes them look that cute and adorable. Chat needs to be reminded that we are the squishiest thing in the world. Yeah, it's pretty fucking easy. Falling over kills like everyone under the worst circumstances, right? There are so many animals are much more durable than us. The heavier an animal is, generally speaking, the less durable it is because of the whole like, you know, size squared, mass cubed, you weigh more when you hit your head bullshit, you know? Or you could just have really thick bones, like a gorilla or whatever. That's why cockroaches are indestructible? Yeah. That's why animals like mice can't die from falling. It's one of the only things that makes me a little bit jealous whenever I see the cats zooming around, you know? Like Ruben, Artemy, and Pigeon can just do whatever the fuck. It looks so comfortable to be around 15 to 20 pounds. Even like a 80-pound dog is significantly more durable when it comes to like relative acrobatics, falling, or whatever else. They can just blah, 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 blah. You know, with a human, even at any age, basically, if you do that the wrong way, you hit your head and, you know, you're in trouble. That's mostly because of our brain mass. Well, it's mostly our head that's the issue, yeah. Like, our brains are just really fucking... are really vulnerable, you know? We need thicker skulls, okay? That's what we need. If we removed our brains, it would be no problem. That's true. Yeah, that's true. It seems like, if anything, the amount of damage that you would need to, like, hurt a skull is pretty consistent through... Like, okay, I feel like a cat's head isn't that much weaker than a human's head. Like, if you had a hammer and you hit my head and a cat at roughly the same, like, strength, I think it would hurt the cat more, but not by that much, right? Because our brains are so vulnerable, and proportional to the thickness of their skulls, theirs are a lot smaller, right? So I think that for a cat, it would still be worse, but it wouldn't be that off, like, proportional to the size difference, which means that if a cat falls and hits its head, it's fine most of the time, unless, like, you know, anyone can get unlucky. But if a human falls like 5 feet and hits their head, you just fucking die. I don't know. What a terrible topic. Basically, what I'm saying is that cats get to live zoomier lives than us, and I am a little jealous of that, but I don't have to eat just one food, so, you know. That's the brain getting injured, not the skull. Yeah, but the skull protects the brain. A lot of falls are neck injuries. Yeah, but when we talk about neck injuries, we usually mean, like, the spine, right? And what is the spine if not the brain's big finger? Think about it. Let's move on. Mm. Well, it's because of the energy of the force being... Okay, look, the real reason I've thought about this is because, like, mechas can't be real. Because if you were in a mecha, it doesn't matter how strong you make the mecha. If you're piloting it, if the thing gets hit, the mecha could be fine. You turn to soup, right? Mechas can't be real as long as we're squishy, you know? And that sucks. I just think that it shouldn't be that way. I think we should be potentially less squishy. I don't know what kind of transhumanist bullshit you would need to do to make it possible, but, like, you can't be in a mecha. You'll get knocked around. What if you were suspended in a liquid? You would need a lot, though. And it wouldn't change the fact that eventually you would have to speed up to the same velocity of the mecha, you know? That's literally Ava. No, it's not. In Ava, they're strapped to suits. They just fill it with the orange tang because of the goop something your mom. Okay, it's not to dampen the inertia of being knocked around in the mecha. They're still strapped to the chair. You know, you would need to be in the liquid, and it would need to zoom. And even then, you would still have to accelerate to the same velocity as the mecha that you're in the amount of time it would take for you to be moved from one end of the tank to another. We're talking about a very minimal amount of dampening here. Maybe you'd be able to survive double, like, the G-forces in temporary changes or whatever, but, like, not, you know. Depends on the viscosity, too. Well, you're still running up against a hard limit, which is the size of the tank. Literally, the brain is suspended in liquid in a hard shell. It doesn't make it less squishy. Well, wait, hold on. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. If the brain was completely rigid in your head, you would fucking die from turning your head too quickly. That is actually very, very important, okay? Don't ever discount that, you know. Your brain is taking a lot of dampening pretty much all the time, you know. Got to be careful there. It's not just bones, it'd be our brain. How do you make your brain tougher, you know? Like, seriously, how do you do that? I've gotten 3+ concussions. I'm fine. My brother in Christ, you are in VGG right now, literally in VGG. Here, we're moving on for real this time. Rapid topic shift. Guys, we're getting some classic American evangelical conservatism, but in the UK this time.
As a mother of a child of primary school age myself, I do not want him or other children to learn about sex full stop, whether that's straight or gay. I also do not want...
Okay, just to be clear, just trying to parse her accent here, okay? She didn't say sex full stop. Sex, comma, full stop. She doesn't want sex education in schools.
Sex full stop, whether that's straight or gay. I also do not want to see young children at primary school to be taught about changing gender. Whatever people want to do when they're older, no problem. You know, life's short, be happy. But does my honourable friend agree that we need to be protecting the innocence of children and their childhood, especially at primary school age?
Yeah, this has been met with a lot of rousing negativity. This particular kind of social conservatism is almost entirely a product of religion, but America is significantly more religious than the UK is. So this doesn't sell quite as well over here. I think I actually prefer the honesty with her, like, because normally with conservatives you get the whole, like, I don't think that young people should be taught about genders bullshit. But in this case, she's being straightforward and saying, no, like, functionally my logic means the banning of all sex ed, which is obviously bad, but at least it's more straightforwardly awful than the whole, like, actually it's just about gender or whatever. It's such a predatory take. Oh, I was going to show a HuffPost UK article on the subject, but I also saw from her account her complaining about that same one. So the HuffPost thinks that primary school children should learn about sex. Yeah, sex ed reduces the likelihood of young people being preyed upon by predators. Very biased article, which doesn't actually mention the positive response from the majority of people who want to ban sex education in primary schools too. You know, all of these, all of the people, the majority of people with positive responses who are present right behind me, just out of camera. You know, I haven't seen anybody like getting that positive about this. Really, this happened a day ago. You know, it's just been negativity, obviously. See her Wikipedia. Is she like a UK evangelical? What's the deal here? British politician serving as deputy chairwoman of the ERG, Conservative member of Parliament in West Yorkshire, the 2015 general election. Euroscepticism. She was a strong critic of Theresa May during her leadership of the Conservative Party due to her handling of Brexit. When she was 18, Jenkins' father sent her photo off to a beauty pageant. That's very weird phrasing. Not when she was 18, she applied for a beauty pageant, but when she was 18, her father was like, damn, I've got a hot daughter, and sent a photo off. That's very interesting. And very, I feel, relevant spiritually to the subject of this conversation. Very, very interesting. Average conservative, yeah. Let's see. Boring electoral shit. In May 2019, Jenkins received media attention for her appearance on the BBC's Politics Live show, as she was unable to name any countries that trade solely with the EU using WTO terms. I don't know what WTO terms refers to, so I don't know if I would necessarily do any better than her, but I'm also not a British politician, so... Yeah, guys, don't worry. We're not British politicians. Nah, you'd do better. I don't know what they mean by WTO terms. World Trade Organization, it says... Wait, what? I know it says World Trade Organization. I'm shortening it by saying WTO. What do you mean? The terms. What do you mean? What? I said WTO. WTO means World Trade Organization. Okay. I don't understand you people. Jenkins has received a number of death threats, largely as a result of her stance on Brexit. In October 2019, she discovered graffiti on the wall of her office calling for her to kill herself. In the summer of 2019, a person was taken to court for threatening to rip her face off. Wow, she attracts a lot of negativity, it seems. In 2018, she received a threatening and sexually explicit email calling for her to be cut with barbed wire and die. I have to ask, why is this being listed? I've received hundreds, possibly thousands of death threats in my career. I understand the graffiti and the court case. An email, though? I don't know. Put them on your Wikipedia. Yeah, I gotta list them all. Jenkins opposed a Britain's sugary drink tax, arguing instead for a better education, better labeling, and parental responsibility. Defended her decision to provide a character reference for the court case of a Conservative Party activist who made violent threats to Labour MP Yvette Cooper and was subsequently jailed for 9 weeks. The statement described the activist as a decent and honest person whose heart is fundamentally in the right place. Interesting. Jenkins made the middle finger at a bunch of people, a bunch of protesters outside of Boris Johnson's resignation speech on Downing Street. Reappointed by Liz Truss, left her own Rishi Sunak. Huh. Well, she certainly seems to have led a storied life. She suffers from fibromyalgia and glossopharyngeal neuralgia, which causes bouts of debilitating pain. Supports improvement of animal rights. Well, all right. We've gotten the whole rundown. I guess I was just looking for, like, anything related to religion, but... Link to pick. This is a very, Kirsten Sinema vibe, I feel. Though this is better clothing than Kirsten Sinema typically wears. She's a soprano singer. This is important. As the mother of a child. Is she just a middle-aged British mom? I'm just trying to understand where this anti-all sex ed take is coming from, because that's not a popular position in the United States either. You know, that's pretty out there. That's pretty wacky, I gotta say. She's a fascist? Yeah, but most fascists don't say that explicitly. She's quirky? Ah, that could be it, yeah. It's worth noting other MPs in Westminster Hall with her were not talking about sex education in general. And as fellow Conservative MP Elliot Colburn stated, primary schools are not required to teach sex education or explicitly teach about LGBTQ topics. It's more about families and relationships. Parents also have the right to withdraw their child from sex education up to the age of 16. The fact that that can happen is so fucked up, by the way. Like, what exactly does it say about parents if they're like, no, I don't want my child knowing what sex is? Like, you know, it's just incredible groomer vibes from that. Remarkable groomer vibes. I feel like this usually comes from politicians who are ashamed of their own sex lives. To an extent, maybe. It's, you know, it is often a religious thing. It's time we stop funding the French to sit around and do nothing. I'm okay with that. I also think we should stop funding the French, sitting around and doing nothing. What do the French even do? Oppress fucking African people, I guess? Man, thank God I'm not British. Also hating Muslims? Yeah. Weird. Russia is claiming France is going to send troops to Ukraine. Didn't 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 the French president literally like imply that, or say like why don't we in the future or something? Didn't he get like really wacky and really based all of a sudden? Yeah, Macron refused to rule out deploying ground troops to help Ukraine fight Russia. It's pretty funny. Probably shouldn't actually do that. MPs in Parliament killed an anti-trans bill by yapping about ferrets to filibuster. What did I miss? Brutal anti-trans politics in England might have met their match in an unlikely opponent. Ferrets, members of Parliament, including some Conservatives, filibustered a gender-affirming care ban that would have applied to private clinics in the country pushed by Liz Truss. Neat. Sure, yeah. If that works, right? Bill banning puberty blockers defining sex to exclude trans people was blocked from being heard after Labour MPs spoke at length on pet names and ferrets. Hey, the Labour Party doing something good? Yeah, I want to hear the ferrets. Give me the ferrets. The Labour Party is not doing good? Oh. Pleased to meet with Mike Bloomberg today to discuss Labour's partnership with business and our plans for mission-driven government. That's so great. Thank you. Isn't it crazy how the Labour Party was once praised by Lenin as being a potential venue for communist agitation in the UK, and now it's objectively to the right of Biden economically? That's awesome.
Say about let us know whether or not ferrets are there purely as a rabies control measure, or is there evidence that there is abuse of ferrets, in importing of ferrets? Because it's not something, I must say, Mr. Deputy Speaker, that I have a wide range of knowledge on, and so I'd be interested to know if there...
Shadow Chancellor Rachel Reeves says Labour will embrace Thatcher's economic policies. Saying Thatcher delivered a decade of national renewal, Reeves says Labour will deliver wide-ranging supply-side reform. Oh my god. Vosh, this is Clipgate. Yeah, is this real? It's just like text in a thingy. Does this link to an article? Source. From The Telegraph, which is reliable. It's real. Stats for Lefties is a really good account. How could it be? Leftists famously don't understand statistics. In the speech, she goes on to say that Thatcher was wrong. I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm so tired that I'm actually having trouble focusing my eyes enough to read this text. I could either do like this, or like... This is the text of the speech. Okay. Having read all of that, my conclusion is vote for Biden.
There are similar issues as those that have been raised about dogs and cats when it comes to ferrets? Or is the reason that...
Is that normal variable vision based on tiredness? Are you a fucking robot? Are you an alien? What? Can't focus eyes because tired? That's like one of the things that happens.
Are in the short title of the bill simply the disease control, which to my mind is a good enough reason. But I wonder if there ought to be further provisions in respect of safety of ferrets that are not set out in the regulations so far that have been said. So I'd be interested to hear what the Minister might have to say about that.
Will my honourable friend give way?
I will give way, of course.
I am very interested about my honourable friend's, keen mention of ferrets at every opportunity during this debate. And just
I don't know how filibusters work in the UK. I have no idea. How do you... Never mind. I'll learn later. A major Tory donor recently said a black Labour MP makes him hate black women and she should be shot. It's been a big drama here. What? Biggest Tory donor said looking at Diane Abbott makes you want to hate all black women. Well, that's pretty straightforward, you know? I guess you love it when the implicit gets made explicit. I don't really know how you could spin this, to be honest. Frank, this is the guy. It's always someone like this, isn't it? You know? Pardon me for perpetuating anti-white hatred here, but like he looks like a beaver, you know? It's always like this. You know, you never scroll down and see a Giga Chad. You get all the goddamn memes of like, oh yeah, man, racism, huh, that's my shit. And the guy has a jaw like a lantern, and then you see what real life racists look like Stone Toss or whatever, and they're all fucking Pillsbury, you know. Oh boy, fucks. Oi, bruv, Tony Soprano? No, because Tony Soprano had, like, a hardness to him, you know? Tony Soprano is fat, sure, but I'm not just saying fat, you know? Like, the Pillsbury Doughboy isn't just fat. This is sandwich race material here. It's not just about being fat or being white or whatever. It's about being an sandwich. The Conservative Party's biggest donor told colleagues that looking at Diane Abbott makes you want to hate all black women and said the MP should be shot. The Guardian can reveal. Why do the most bigoted people look the least resistant to damage? Frank Hester, who's given £10 million the Tories in the past year, said in the meeting that he does not hate all black women. Vosh, the UK election caps spending at 33 mil, so 10 mil is really significant. Wait, the UK election prevents the parties from spending more than 33 million pounds over the entire election cycle for all of their advertising work? Or are you talking about like only at the national level, but individual members of parliament can run their own? Which one? Does it account for everything, or can individual MPs manage their own finances? National level? Okay. Still too high, but base. Yeah, I think that in America, the cap for spending should be like whatever you can raise in a single lemonade stand weekend, like near a beach, you know? You should both have like a solid $82.30 to bring to the forefront. He also called all his foreign workers together to defend himself against online claims that he had made racist remarks. Why would you do this? He was also given hundreds of millions of pounds in government contracts, by the way. He's not a donor. Well, wait, what's his job? Well, like, what does he do? Frank Hester. British businessman, owner and CEO of software company The Phoenix Partnership. Okay. He's racist? Really? Can you imagine being this wealthy and people online call you racist and you get together all of your brown employees to say like, hey guys, now you might have heard rumors online that I am in fact racist, and internally every employee there is thinking like, Jesus Christ, kill me. As you know, lay it out. During this meeting, he said he abhorred racism and told his team their progress would not be based on the color of their skin, ethnicity, or where your parents are from. However, he also said, quote, we take the piss out of the fact that all our Chinese girls sit together in Asian corner. You know what? I'm warming up to this guy a little bit. I don't know. I think he's a bit of a character is what I think. I think he's a goofy... Can you imagine, like an American businessman, like, sweatily trying to explain his commitment to equality before making, like, and we don't even mind all our black employees go out to play basketball with the basketball, and no one there plays basketball or whatever. He's just saying shit, you know? Just what a remarkable character. No self-control. It's Trump shit. Yeah, it's Trump shit, you know? It's Trump shit where he'll be like, I love everyone, you know, I love everyone. Even the Chinese, you know? It's phenomenal stuff. Michael Scott, everyone loves Michael Scott, you know? He's exactly like Trump and this guy. Runs a healthcare technology firm. Of course it would be healthcare. Paid more than £400 million by the NHS and other government bodies since 2016. Wow, wonder why that started getting kicked up around 2016, huh? I wonder what election. Jesus Christ. It's such a racket, dude. Give a few £10 million to the Tories, they give you £500 million in government contracts. Good Lord. After the publication of the remarks, a statement from TPP said Hester accepts that he was rude about Diane Abbott in a private meeting several years ago, but his criticism had nothing to do with her gender nor color of skin. Really? How do you sell that one? That's a tough sell. The statement said Hester abhorred racism, not least because he experienced it as the child of Irish immigrants in the 1970s. Okay, I smile because it is funny. However, I'm pretty sure that Irish immigrants in the 70s actually would have been treated pretty fucking badly in the UK, you know? It's not like America where people are like, well, the Irish were slaves. Like, well, no, actually, the Irish actually were treated very badly by the British. The statement added, he rang Diane Abbott twice today to try to apologize directly for the hurt he caused her and is deeply sorry for his... Imagine being Diane Abbott and seeing in the news that this fucking ultra-wealthy Tory donor said that about you, and then you get calling, you know? Fucking, you know, Hester. She's directly apologized to you or something. Jesus Christ. In an interview last week, Hester praised Rishi Sunak for embracing AI, saying the future is AI and we got a prime minister who gets it. Any correlations here? One wonders. The Guardian has learned of a 2019 meeting at TPP's headquarters in which Hester spoke about an executive from another org, saying she's shit, she's the shittiest person. Honestly, I try not to be sexist, but when I meet somebody like the executive, it's like trying not to be racist, but you see Diane Abbott on the TV and you're just like, I hate you. You just want to hate all black women because she's there. And I don't hate all black women at all. Oh, he retracted it. I bet the woke media won't cover that. But I think she should be shot. The executive and Diane Abbott need to be shot. She's stupid. If we can get the executive being unprofessional, we can get her sacked. It's not as good as her dying. It would be much better if she died. She's consuming resource. She's eating food that other people could eat, you know? Fuck. This guy should be posting. We need to take all of this guy's money away, and we just need to sit him down on Twitter. Jesus Christ. Abbott was a Labour MP for more than 35 years till she was suspended by the party in April last year after suggesting that Jewish, Irish, and traveller people were not subject to racism all their lives. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, that was a weird one. Okay, so in actuality, he said all that about Diane Abbott because he knew that 4 years in the future, she would say some weird shit. There we go. She's eating food that I could be eating. Yeah, it's very funny that one of the, like, most scathing criticisms this guy can think of a person he wants dead is she's consuming food, presumably, that I could be eating instead. Well. That's pretty good. No yawning or fingerprints on doors, the strict rules at Tory donors firm. If you ever want, like, a good argument from a socialist perspective on how autocratically run companies are basically just like tiny fiefdoms, you should show them how any rich person behaves and how they all clearly just want to be feudal lords. Like, seriously, anytime you actually examine the behavior of an ultra-wealthy person and see how they run their businesses, it goes far beyond reason. They're all psychopaths. They all, like, every wealthy business owner wants to be wearing some kind of, like, gorgeous, silk cape and sit in a big throne and issue maddening proclamations. I think that in a way, like, they all want to be Mao, because Mao was also kind of like that to an extent, right? With his grand proclamations that were absolutely fucking batshit. I think that's just the human beings, when they're given too much power, want a cape and they want to make you do things that don't make sense. That's how they exhibit their power. Because it's not real power if you're making people do things that make sense, right? The real expression of power, the real indication that you have power, is making people do things that are mad and irrational and painful, but they do it anyway. That's the real expression of power. Abbott is a campus, but has experienced more social media abuse than all other MPs combined. I think I've heard that. She's a Bosnian genocide denier, including setting up a pro-Serbian lobbying group. Okay. All right. Big Albania got her thrown out of parliament, kicked from the Labour Party. Man, there really are no good allies out there. Yeah, if you ever want to be allies with people who have good economic positions, you also have to accept that, like, 14 genocides done by non-American or Western-backed dictatorships actually didn't happen. And in actuality, you have to accept Lysenkoism. It's the only way. You know, you can get progressive politics at the cost of like denying 16 genocides, or you can get progressive economic politics at the cost of Lysenkoist agricultural policy, and that's all you can get. It was called Labor Friends of Milosevic or something? You're kidding me. You're kidding me. The UK longed for Galloway, and now he's back. Now he's back. The UK longs for the gallows? No, Galloway. I think it's what it needs and deserves. Recent news on CTO cop punched someone? Is that relevant? 3 weeks ago, 2.3 million views. I'm never gonna get to the shit in the title. I need to end soon too. Like, I'm on fumes here. I don't know what's happening with regards to my energy levels, but I'll probably be fine tomorrow.
Now to a Fox 61 exclusive. A Meriden police officer is charged with assault after a violent road rage incident caught on camera.
Fox 61, the only station to obtain both the citizen dash cam and police body cam video.
How much you guys pay for rights to those, huh? Yeah.
Fox 61's Matt Caron went to the Meriden Police Department in search of answers. He joins us now live with what he discovered. Matt.
Well, despite this incident occurring back in December, it only came to light now thanks to a Freedom of Information Act request and a tip. Investigators say the video shows an off-duty Meriden police officer with more than 20 years of law enforcement experience reaching into a citizen's vehicle and punching him in the face.
Was the citizen being a bitch? Because, you know,
he's not going to try to make this into some type of like major thing.
December 8th, 2023, 37-year-old Thomas Brocuglio was driving his company vehicle with the dash camera on as he approached a red light at the intersection of France Street and Cromwell Ave in Rocky Hill.
What are we doing?
Why does the date down there in the bottom left corner say it's 2019? I'm guessing they just didn't properly set the dash cam time.
Kid. What are you doing?
The truck he was honking at was being driven by 57-year-old off-duty Meriden Police Corporal Alan Ganter.
Okay, now I understand where we're going with this.
Wait all day.
I appreciate what is this, Fox 81, Fox 61, for giving us the full story, you know, really piecing together the visuals and you know, leading us through this one. You're into it,
That's
man.
when Ganter got out of his truck, flashed his badge, and approached Brocuglio.
Really? Where does it say that? It says stop here on red.
Corporal Ganter began taking pictures of Brocuglio's license plates. Brocuglio accused Ganter of being on his phone as the confrontation escalated.
I saw you looking down doing everything else.
I gotta say, just right off the bat, man, if I honked a horn at somebody and they got out of the car and walked towards me, my assumption would be either they have a gun or they're about to fight me. I should get ready. So him walking forward and this, like, he
flashed his badge.
Like, I would, like, you could miss that really, like, even if I was directly looking at him, I'm not assuming this fucking tub of lard, like, 50-something guy, you know, like, you know, what, is that a fake badge? Like, even if I see a badge, he could have just been holding something, I don't know, you know?
And approached Brocuglio.
Really? Where does it say that? It says stop here on red.
Corporal Ganter began taking pictures of Brocuglio's license plates. Brocuglio accused Ganter of being...
Cops often think they're invincible because it's a crime to hit them back. Yeah, and they're correct. That they are correct in thinking that, yeah.
...on his phone as the confrontation escalated.
I saw you looking down doing everything else.
Isn't it so cool how being a cop isn't actually a job? It's a caste, because when you're an off-duty cop, you still get privileges when it comes to how you're treated by the law. It's so cool, you know? Like, if it was just a job thing, it would only apply when you were on the job, but it's literally a 100% of the time thing.
No, I was moving something in my bag.
Ganter then threatens to give Brocuglio a ticket and call his supervisor.
Sure, sounds good. Let me get your badge number.
Do cops have any official authority when they're off duty? It really varies, but the practical answer is yes, because they say they do, and that's it. They can call their cop friends, like, if they want, they'll do whatever, it doesn't matter. Dog's just vibing, not anymore. Dog smells pig.
You want to get arrested? You're going to get arrested for assault on a civilian.
Ganter drove away as Brocuglio placed a call to Rocky Hill Police.
Rocky Hill 911, the for emergency.
Yeah, I was just assaulted by a police officer who punched me in the face through my window.
Rocky Hill Police responded and generated this incident report, saying the punch left Brocuglio dazed and possibly concussed.
Did it? I don't give a fuck, dude. Listen, okay, cops say whatever the fuck they want. If you get punched by a cop unlawfully, yeah, I think it killed me. Might have given me cancer. I'm feeling a little faint, you know, a little light. Might have lost a leg. Not sure. Did I have 3 legs before? Don't remember. Don't give a fuck. Whatever. Go for it.
Rocky Hill police made contact with Ganter at his residence. The interaction on body camera.
Is he pressing charges against me, like for breach? Yeah. Like, because I yelled at him and stuff? For assault.
Cop instinct immediately. Hello, fellow cops. We're all part of the same gang. You know, I just yelled at him, right?
Oh, because you hit him. He's saying that I hit him.
He's saying that I hit him. Right, just instinctually. Fucking pig shit, man. Just like no thought needed. Just instantly. Yeah.
And he has video that you hit him.
Then Ganter asks officers if he can charge Brocuglio.
And there's nothing where I can press for breach of peace for him yelling at me, whatever it is.
Ultimately,
breach of peace for yelling at me. They literally like, hey, I'm a cop. The law basically doesn't apply to me. Could we do magic? Like, could we just do anything at him? Could you like stalk him for a while? You know?
Ganter, who is a school resource officer for the Thomas Edison Middle School, was charged with breach of peace and assault.
I'm Matt Karen with Fox 61 News. Okay. We'd like to talk to somebody about Officer Alan Ganter.
The bro cop immediately letting him know there's video so he stops lying. Yes, that's true. Nikki Bugs is correct. Even the cops that just served him the order right there were doing him a favor by telling him they knew there was a video. If they were like talking that way with anyone else, they would have let him keep lying to dig himself in deeper, you know? They would have taken a statement from him. It would have been contradicted by the video. There would have been a whole thing in court. But instead, right off the bat, they're like, nope, don't even try it, man. He's got you on video. Just shut up. Yeah, it's protection. It's still protection. Basically, those cops were telling him it's shut the fuck up Friday, which they were correct to do from his interests, but normally cops would not do that.
Punching a civilian in the face?
We were told someone from Internal Affairs would speak to us, then told no one was available.
No one's available to come up.
Meriden Police did send Fox 61 a statement saying an Internal Affairs investigation determined Ganter did violate the Meriden Police Department's rules of conduct, and as a result was...
And the law. And the law. Assault is a crime. It's not just a workplace violation. It's not showing up late or, you know, being smelly or whatever. It's a crime. Suspended for 5 days without pay. Different cast of people. He wasn't even on duty. Literally, wasn't even on duty. Broke the law. 5 days suspended without pay. 5 days, you know. No 5 days of pay.
Suspended for 5 days without pay and will be required to attend de-escalation training for 3 consecutive years.
That's great. Three years is more than I expected. It's getting locked in there. This is the goddamn fucking Shadow Realm. Still.
And after issuing that statement, the Meriden Police did also say they would not be addressing this issue any further, nor would they be making anyone available for an on-camera interview.
Yep, because they knew they would have to explain why they aren't arresting him for the crime that he did. This is under Fox 61. This one got viral. Just a local news station, 2.3 million views. Cop punches civilian, 5-day suspension. Civilian punches cop, 5 years in prison if you survive. Yep. You know cops are really bad when alarmist YouTube comments are completely correct. Like you normally you look down in the YouTube comments and even when they're right, they're wrong. But for this, no, yeah, sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. You need federal standards for policing. Fix your country. Unfortunately, police conduct is almost entirely up to city and county, you know, like local departments. There isn't really like a federal system. If it wasn't for that dash cam, the civilian would be rotting in jail. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, uh-huh. Yep. That's why if a cop ever pulls you over, the first thing you should do is you should open up your phone and you should open it. You should open the video and you should start recording. There are apps that you can get. I think it's like Justice something. It's from the ACLU where you can record with your phone and it gets auto-uploaded to a database as you do it. So even if they destroy your phone, it's still there on the cloud. Something like that, yeah. Mobile Justice. Yeah, Mobile Justice. That's what it's called. There's a Twitter page called Always Film the Police, and it's filled with stuff like this. Yeah, this is the thing with policing in America. American police kill a lot of people relative to other countries, but it's a big country, right? It's like, okay, they kill a few thousand people in a country of 300 million. Is that a lot? Yeah, it is a lot, actually. But, like, the actual mark of American policing is not how many people they kill. It's how often they act like open fucking thugs. Just, like, unabashedly. You can see fresh videos of this every day. Go online and you will find enough videos of cops just acting like brazen thugs, violating the law every day. Hundreds of new ones every single day, all the time. They love doing that shit. And sometimes that leads them hurting people or killing people, and a lot of the times it's just them, you know, testing the limits. Sometimes they just steal your stuff. Civil forfeiture. And then you have to prove in court, with the standard of proof or the burden of proof being on you, that your items were not used in a crime. If they just see you've got $2,000 in cash because you just sold like a shitty car or whatever, and they're like, oh, cash with a rubber band around it? That's drug money. That's drug money, boy. Hand that right over. Which you have to do. You have to do that, or they'll fucking take it from you. And then if you want that $2,000 back, you have to go to court. And you have to prove that it wasn't used in any illegal activity. How do you do that? You literally have to prove a negative. That's the legal standard. That's why you always refuse searches? Yeah, I don't know if it's true, but I saw an article claiming cops stole more than documented thieves this year, Lamau. I'm pretty sure I've heard that too. Though not for this year, but like sometime in the past. Civil asset forfeiture total amount year. Oh, wait. Civil asset forfeiture is not the only mechanism that they use to steal stuff. Between 2000 and 2019, states and the federal government pocketed a combined total of $68.8 billion through forfeiture. Oh, here's one in Washington specifically. Washington police sell or use millions of dollars worth of seized property each year. Legislators haven't managed to change the rules. Cash, cars, real estate, and other assets. Agencies can keep, use, or sell this property without winning a criminal conviction. All they have to do is show the property is probably connected to the crime if the owners try to get it back. Many don't even try. Yeah, good luck with that. A lot of it is also something they do, like, even if you did do a crime, right? So if the police, like, if you get arrested for, like, having drugs or whatever, what the cops will often do is be like, ah, so you like drugs, do you? Is this a drug PS5 then? Perhaps this PS5 was used in drug. Yoink. And they love doing that shit. Like, you commit a crime and it's like, oh, it's now like free fucking, it's just like whatever you want, you know? Just free reign on taking your shit. Yeah, the drug station 5, exactly. I was harassed by a cop for months after being arrested because the case got dropped and he would just case my house neighborhood. Yeah, dude, stalker cops are crazy dangerous. Because they can do whatever. What are you going to do? Call the police? Hey, one of your guys outside, okay? Oh my god, this Substack article literally mentions PS5. Authorities can take literally whatever they want from you, cash, vehicles, your home, your PS5, and they can keep it without ever convicting or even charging you of a crime. Dude, cops basically have prima nocte, okay? If you marry someone, the cop can fuck her on the, you know, to consummate the marriage. They basically can. What? Okay, I'll say this. Convince a cop that they can't, all right? Just moseying on into wedding receptions and being like, ah, this is a fine bride you've got there. It's the law, yeah. America is fucking insane. How do you guys live? I don't know what you're talking about. The cops serve a valuable civic function in spite of all of the downsides. Without cops, who would show up 7 hours after you call them for a crime to shrug at you and do nothing, you know? Like, who would be there to take a police report the day after your car gets stolen, you know, and tell you that they'll, like, look into it? For this, we pay them billions and billions of dollars. Yeah, who else would kill your dog? Come on. Here's a cop who raped a woman during a traffic stop. I don't know if this is necessarily relevant to what we're talking about, but it does further our shared interest in really hating police, which, you know, we do. We do here. We love to hate cops here, don't we, folks? We hate the pigs here, don't we? Killing police officer charged with raping woman during traffic stop. If I was a cop, I would simply not do this and also not be a cop. If I was a cop, I would simply not be a cop. After hearing the evidence, the grand jury voted on November 17th to true bill the case and issued an indictment for killing police officer Jared Webster for rape in the first degree, sodomy for the first degree. Damn, it was bad enough that they actually let them charge them for criminal, you know, criminally. That's crazy. You know it's bad. He was on duty and he's getting charged. That's crazy. Mississippi sheriffs were sentenced to 20 years for breaking into a black man's home, not even a no-knock raid, sexually assaulted, and killed him for being in a relationship with a white woman. Wait, this just happened today? Well, I mean, this news is just today.
The act egregious and despicable. Those words from a federal judge in Mississippi describing the actions of former cops Hunter Elwood, sentenced to 20 years, and Jeffrey Middleton, sentenced to more than 17 years. They, along with 4 others, some of whom refer to themselves as the Goon Squad, pleaded guilty to breaking into this home early last year without a warrant, then terrorizing and torturing 2 black men, all apparently because they stayed at this house with a white woman.
The 6 white...
Well, this sure is a Mississippi story, huh, folks?
Police officers involved in this assault sought to dehumanize their victims.
During the ordeal, both were handcuffed as deputies poured milk, alcohol, and syrup on their faces, calling them racial slurs. At one...
Corny. Racist and corny. What do you gotta tie up this black guy and pour milk in him? What are you doing?
At one point, Michael Jenkins was shot in the mouth.
You look at me, I look at him, and we sat there for a minute, and they pulled the trigger.
You can see the bullet, you know, coming out of the gun. I mean, the fire coming out, and it just, I mean, it was horrific.
The federal charges were brought by the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division.
Hard to imagine a more atrocious set of civil rights violations than those carried out by these guys.
An investigation by the Associated Press revealed that since 2019, some of these deputies had been involved in at least 4 violent assaults on black men. They resulted in 2 deaths and another suffering lasting injuries.
That's great. Love that it took this long for them to get found out for this, you know. Love it. It had to get to like the 6-person nighttime goon raid / rape / shot in the mouth / pour milk on the guy point for that to come out, you know? Was it only 20 and 17 years? I don't know. Life in prison? How do you socially rehabilitate this? Life. A $400 million civil lawsuit against the department. Again, so nothing is going to change with stuff like this until settlements offered by police departments take first from the money of the department and then from the individual officers involved, and only then from broader city funds, you know? Like, it should, it has to bankrupt them. It has to ruin their lives. A civil lawsuit against any individual, like, the problem is like, that would be different to the way we typically treat it in a corporate sense, where, like, if you sue a corporation civilly, like, the money comes from the corporation. The whole point of a corporation is to protect the people in the corporation. We should stop doing that, because, again, being a business owner doesn't, at least, you know, not in practice in most cases, give you a free pass to do crimes. Being a cop does. Many cops do. It's like the difference between regular unions and cop unions, right? Regular unions protect you from your boss. Cop unions protect you from the consequences of your crimes.
They're not just depriving victims of their civil rights, they're degrading the public's trust in our criminal justice system.
Now, there are still 4 additional deputies to be sentenced later this week. And during today's hearing in the federal courthouse you see behind me, Hunter Elwood addressed the court, said he accepted responsibility, and said to the 2 victims, Nora, that he apologized. At that point, one of the victims, Eddie Parker, stood, turned to him and said, "I forgive you."
Oh, my goodness.
Stronger people than me.
Yes, wow. Carol Burnett, thank you.
Yeah, you know, she's thinking this as well. She's thinking, well, I don't think I would have. Just sorry they were caught. Wait, wasn't the people... Did he not say, "I forgive you" to the department head? Wait, did I mishear?
In the federal courthouse you see behind me, Hunter Elwood addressed the court, said he accepted responsibility, and said to the 2 victims, Nora, that he apologized. At that point, one of the victims, Eddie Parker, stood, turned to him and said, "I forgive you."
Oh, my goodness.
Hunter Elwood, was that one of the perpetrators or one of the, No, yeah, he was one of the ones sentenced. Okay, my apologies. For some reason I thought, maybe because I was reading the AP article at the same time, I thought that that was, like, the head of the department who was apologizing for responsibility. Yeah, I don't know. We're not going to get to, like, any of the shit in the title if you guys keep linking stuff. It's been, like, 5 times now. Ruben's warbling. Azerbaijan is demanding Armenia to hand over villages in their own borders. The Prime Minister thinks war could start in hours. God damn it. What if we didn't, though? Armenia could face a war with Azerbaijan if it does not compromise with Baku and return 4 Azerbaijani villages it has held since the early 1990s. How many Armenians are in these areas? The 4 villages, which have been uninhabited for over 30 years, okay, asked and answered, are of strategic value to Armenia as they straddle the main road between Yerevan and the Georgian border, which includes several tiny enclaves entirely surrounded by Armenian territory, necessary condition for a peace deal to end 3 decades of conflict over the region of Nagorno-Karabakh. Let me see if I can look at this, like, on the map. 1 second. Live UA map, Armenia. It's just Caucasus.live UA map, because it's all blurring together, I see. Ruben is warbling like a motherfucker. Okay, what is it? It's, Yerevan and Georgian border. Okay. So, is it in this area right here? No. Is it listed here? I don't see it here. Red? Yeah, I was wondering if they had it in the news live section here, but I don't see it. Yellow? You're not being helpful. Here. I'm not finding this very easy to parse. Green. Here we go. We're doing it one better. Okay. You have all these enclaves left over from the last war. Aliyev celebrated the final cleansing of Nagorno-Karabakh today. Yeah. Having looked into it, like a little bit, I understand Azerbaijan's grievances to an extent, because I do feel like there are like mutually fucked up things that happened with regards to how things settled after the last conflict. It's more along the lines of like Azerbaijan is at the moment far, far worse in terms of their politics, and they have the power to just take back the things they think were unfair. Like they can right the wrongs they care about. Armenia can't do shit. So in function, it's basically just like the worst possible version of a one-sided, addressal of grievances. So border, Georgia, Yerevan. So I assume the enclaves they're looking to recapture are here, right? It was what was it? It was Yerevan. Precondition between Yerevan and the Georgia border. I'm sorry, wait. Yerevan is the capital? How far off is that? Yerevan. Oh, that's pretty far off from the border. Okay, between Yerevan and Georgia. So this is the area they're referring to then. It has to be. Because they're talking about the border between Yerevan and Georgia, and that can only really refer to stuff north. Yeah, Yerevan is pretty far from Georgia, relative to the size of the country, but okay. So yeah, they're trying to take stuff here. This dotted line, is this like a county border? Yeah, okay, provinces, I see. Aliyev just keeps pushing it, though. He won't stop here. He was calling the capital of Armenia a rightfully Azeri city today. Yeah, he's literally doing like German post-World War I shit, where like they did kind of get fucked over in the Treaty of Versailles, but like, obviously taking it a little bit too far there, Hitler. Yeah, not great. I feel like if Azerbaijan wanted to, they could just fucking invade all of Armenia. It would be like a slog, but what the fuck else has Azerbaijan got going for it? Like whatever. Azerbaijan doesn't have the same kind of like globally integrated economy that America has. It's not like they would have this giant fucking tightrope to walk. Would Iran be able to protect Armenia? Maybe to an extent. They're fishing for an excuse, yeah. Yeah, it's Russia's weakness that is allowing this to happen. Armenia didn't have any other ally other than Russia who didn't do anything for it. Well, Iran is supportive of Armenia, which is funny, of course, because Azerbaijan is a Muslim country and Armenia is a Christian country, one of the world's oldest Christian countries. They probably will. Massive amounts of arms shipments have been flying into Azerbaijan this year. Why would Iran protect Armenia? It's okay. The Caucasus are very wacky. Everyone is on the other side that you think they are. Turkey is pro-Azerbaijan. Russia wants them to not fight but can't do anything. Israel is pro-Azerbaijan. Iran is pro-Armenia. Like, it's a whole... Yeah, it's very wacky over here. Yeah, all the geopolitical, like, common sense lines kind of fall apart there. What's the nameless territory between Armenia and Iran? This over here? I don't know why it's separated by that line. Is this, that's Azerbaijan, this is Azeri territory? Yeah, I guess that's an example of, how irrational the end to the last conflict was. So their version of Kashmir. All of Armenia is Azerbaijan's version of Kashmir. You know, it's funny. This is one of the only examples in the world of genuine Christian oppression. Like, that's not usually how things go down. Christian minorities in countries that have Christian minorities are usually... Well, no, there are plenty of Christian minorities that get treated poorly in places in Africa and Southeast Asia, but it's usually minimal and complicated. It's very complicated. I don't want to, like, boil it down. It's still an issue. But Armenia is, like, a big nationwide example of it. They've been Christian basically forever. I mean, for as long as you could be Christian, really. And they're so small. Look at how quickly you're looking down at individual blocks. Seriously, look at this. Here we see all of Armenia. All of it. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in, and now we see individual streets. Just like that. We can see individual, like, street layouts right here. It's tiny. Here's high school number 198. That's a cool name. Practical city-states, yeah. Return. 15-minute country. Armenia is basically the same size as Israel, I think. It's a little bit larger. Israel is much more densely packed, though. France has been a decent ally to Armenia since Russia fucked them over, including arm deliveries. I mean, I guess we'll see if it'll be enough. Armenian ethnic cleansing in Israel? Yeah, Israel supports Azerbaijan against Armenia. There's a whole reason for it. I don't exactly remember why, though. I'll have to go back over it and look. Okay, anyway, I'm going to solve this conflict right now. Don't do it. Mr. Azerbaijan, don't do it. Stop. Okay. Can I get one, just one title segment done before I fall asleep in my chair, please? Just a single, just one. Don Lemon? The Don Lemon one would have been a long one. I'm sorry I was not your mother. I was excited for that one. Well, then we'll do it tomorrow. Ugh. Remember how last stream we talked about Donald Trump and his money troubles? Remember that? You remember, right? Right? Trump GoFundMe raised 1.4 million already. That's nothing. That's nothing. Stand with Trump, fund the 355 million unjust settlement. That's not even all the money that he owes. That is absolutely nothing. The top donation is 10,000. No. No. Wow, Trump is poor? Trump is very poor. In fact, Trump might actually be the poorest president in the history of America. And I'm not joking, because when you evaluate a person's net worth, you subtract their debt from their assets. And my man has some debts. Trump says he'd have to hold fire sale of properties to meet $464 million bond. While protesting the unjustness of the order to pay this $500 million bond, Trump's lawyers said that while the Trump organization's properties are in a relatively high state of liquidity, they would not be able to meet this bond, even if they were to start employing that liquidity. Essentially, an admission from Donald Trump's lawyers that, yeah, man, even if we started melting all that shit down, like, it's not happening, basically. Here. I would be forced to, this is from Trump, I would be forced to mortgage or sell, quote, great assets perhaps at fire sale prices, and if and when I win the appeal, they would be gone. Does that make sense? Witch hunt, election interference, Trump added. Yeah. So if you have any like Trump organization properties nearby, I strongly suggest camping out there. You know, just get a tent. Who knows, right? They cited difficulties finding a Treasury Department-approved surety company willing to underwrite a bond at such a high level. They noted many of the approved companies have internal policies against issuing bonds of more than $100 million. Trump's legal team also said part of the issue is that the former president cannot put up property for collateral as part of the bond. While it is my understanding the Trump organization is in a strong liquidity position, it does not have $1 billion in cash or cash equivalents, the lawyers wrote, adding, as a result, for a company such as the Trump Organization, which has most of its assets invested in real estate, obtaining a bond for $464 million is a practical impossibility. Trump is appealing the decision, but must put up the bond in order to have his appeal go forward. Ooh. Ooh. Guys, Donald Trump, like, I know we've been in a lot of like, you know, old Donnie Trump isn't going to be able to get his way out of this one than he does kind of situations before. All I'm saying is that like he actually needs to deal with this right now. This is like a right now thing. He's yeah. Fuck, I wish I wasn't so tired I could like play up how important it is more. It is really important. There is a silver lining for Trump in this situation. The bright side, it looks like you won't be impacted by President Biden's proposed billionaires tax. Yeah, it's true. Under Biden's woke welfare programs that give alms to the poor, he might actually benefit just as much as, you know, the rest of us. He really, really needs gold bars. What's the collateral of not getting this money now? I'm not sure what you mean with that. He has until March 25th. Hold on. Trump bond, March 25th. Is that the cutoff point? Yeah, there we go. Trump faces March 25 deadline to post bond for 120% of verdict. Ex-president court filing said he doesn't have enough cash. Will he go to prison if he can't make bond? The former president challenged the verdict, but he still faced a March 25th deadline to post a bond covering 120% of the judgment while he appeals. In a March 18th court filing, said 30 companies arranged such bonds have declined as collateral. He doesn't have enough cash. He wouldn't. No, he wouldn't go to jail. I think they would just start melting all of his properties down for scrap. Like at that point, the government starts repossessing his stuff. Like they would go over to like Trump Tower and stuff, and they would just like march out with a bunch of chairs. You know, they would take his gold toilet. You're going to see a bunch of like union workers, you know, in coveralls marching out, like carrying little bits of this, you know. There's going to be some guy with like a scalpel cutting off the painting on the ceiling, you know, and marching out with it rolled up under his arm. They got the green light to take out-of-state shit. They could take Mar-a-Lago. Oh my God, I want them to take Mar-a-Lago. I want to see 50,000 different camera angles of every news crew in the country filming Trump standing around helplessly as a bunch of like blue-collar union guys are carrying out the furniture. Please, I need this so bad. I need it more than anything ever in my entire life. Oh my God, it's at the bottom of fucking Maslow's hierarchy of needs. I need it. Everyone pray. Everyone manifest it. For real, is he almost about to straight up go to jail? No, this is all financial stuff. You don't typically send people to debtor's prison. We try not to do that, even though we definitely do that. What if they take Mar-a-Lago? He has more documents he's hiding. Yeah, the union rep guy is just carrying out a bunch of nuclear codes in little envelopes. Suit check. Major issues on both sides here. Though Trump looks a lot better here than he typically does, because he usually now wears the jacket here actually looks pretty good, I would say. The jacket looks fine. Don't know what's going on with the trousers here. Like, look at the way they're rumpling. Likewise over here, I'd say. Like, I don't get it. I think Abe looks okay. Just people fuck up in the trousers, you know? He's so top-heavy, Lamau? Yeah, well, you know. This is the correct version of civil asset forfeiture? True. What happens if Trump doesn't post the bond? New York Attorney General Letitia James, a Democrat who brought the fraud suit against Trump, is likely to take immediate legal action to seize assets, but such a process would likely trigger another courtroom battle, meaning it could take months or longer for her to satisfy the judgment. No! The process would nevertheless put Trump's properties at risk of being taken from his Manhattan-based Trump organization. Why does everything take so long to do? Just once, can we please speed up the process and be faster, okay? I told you this is a stall effort. Well, in this case, this is just like the normal delaying process, I think. There is good news, though. Even if his stuff doesn't end up getting repossessed, the real good that is a product of all this, like the real good that's being done, is the fact that Trump is gutting the GOP and turning its fundraising processes towards him. Remember, big donors are hesitant about donating to the GOP because they feel like it'll just go straight to Trump, which Trump denies, but then they also shut down a provision that would have stopped the GOP from funneling money over to Trump. It seems like even if he doesn't get all of his shit repoed, which I still really, really want, a lot of money is going to be siphoned away from the GOP for this. Biden has a lot more money on hand right now, so... Could Trump use bankruptcy to escape this? Please file bankruptcy. Do you have any idea how fucking funny that would be? Trump's wealth is mostly tied up in real estate. No, this is the whole goddamn thing. The whole reason that Donald Trump is paying this money, this bond, is because he lied about the value of his real estate. Why would you then list the value of his real estate at these amounts? Mar-a-Lago was not worth $240 million. That was the whole point. The whole you're basically saying, like, here are the debts that he's incurred for committing fraud by lying against the value of his properties, and these are the values of the properties as like listed by Donald Trump. You know? Yeah, yeah, exactly. Going bankrupt would destroy everything because he has so many liabilities and so many, you know, it's such a big house of cards. Trump has already filed for bankruptcy 4 times in the past. Yeah, but that wasn't now. This is different. Liz Cheney says Trump is probably going to siphon money from the RNC. Is it just a coincidence Donald Trump took over the RNC, fired most of its Republican staff, then installed his daughter-in-law as co-chair at the same time he's become desperate for money and can't post bond? Donors better beware. Yep. Though remember, the maximum amount of money that the GOP had back at the height of the 2020 election was about a fourth of what Donald Trump owes in this bond. So even if he funneled all of the money the RNC possibly could, look, all I'm saying, you know, just... Bavash, have you considered nothing ever happens? I'm often considering this, yes. Trump could sell his minority stakes in 2 commercial office buildings, 555 California in San Francisco and 1290 Avenue of the Americas in New York. These are majority owned by Vornado Realty Trust. They're worth an estimated $625 million. Would be among the quickest ways for him to raise the cash that he needs. I don't know if that's reliable because I don't think Mar-a-Lago is worth $240 million. Like, that's been contested very heavily. So I don't know if you could fairly say, I guess it's his stake in those and he doesn't own them outright. And there's a pretty big difference between saying it's worth that much and finding a buyer. Have you seen recent shocking polls saying Biden is ahead? Don't listen to these. Don't listen to polls. They were made by the devil to deceive you. In reality, all large statistical information is unknowable. All of it is guesswork, okay? How many white people versus black versus Hispanic versus Asian people are in America? Nobody knows. How many men versus women? Count. How many men are in the room with you right now? For me, it's just one, me. How many women? 0. All I know is that there's 1 man and 0 women in this room. That's my polling data, okay? Don't trust the lies of the devil people, the statisticians, okay? We only listen to them when the surveys are provided by Soaked on Left, okay? That's the only time. Only then. Be honest, how close to the election are you going to wait before telling everyone to get out? I'm not pulling a fire alarm on you guys, okay? That's not how it works. Oh my god, Ruben is yelling so loud. Do you guys want to see Ruben before I, leave stream and pass out? Ruben! Ruben. No. I couldn't get Ruben, but look at this baby! Me. Ooh. Oh. Ruben. Pigeon. Whoa. Move. Move your butt. There we go. Why are they so angry? They're rowdy. All right. Sorry for being so tired today, guys. I don't really know why it is. I found some cool pants today. I hear battling out there. Oof, that editing? What editing? Can I show what these pants look like? Anyone like Buck Mason? Here we go. Look. They have some nice, relatively high-rise pants that just have little pleats, so they're like casual enough that you can wear them out in a variety of situations. But they're like higher rise. Asses look good in high rise. Not nearly high enough. Well, that looks pretty good with my suit jacket. How are those different from Levi's high rise? Well, I mean, I don't know. I haven't really worn Levi's high rise. I mean, these aren't jeans, for one. The Supreme Court just reblocked the Texas immigration bill. What? Fix sleeve, please. You can't make me do anything I don't want to do. What? What? When? 6 minutes ago? Federal Appeals Court late Tuesday night controversial. Three-judge panel at 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals said it voted 2-1 to wipe away a previous ruling from a different panel that temporarily put the law SB 4 into effect. Wait, what about the Supreme Court? The panel of judges that issued hear arguments Wednesday morning. Will let. What? Is this article good news or bad news? This is good. I don't understand. Texas wants to blend Mexican babies in a big blender, and Biden says, no, don't do that. We should continue the status quo of simply having a non-functional border, but we shouldn't blend them. And Greg Abbott said, fuck you, I'm going to start the blender building anyway. And then Biden said, no, I will take down your blender parts. And then the Supreme Court said, okay, Biden, you do have the right to take down the blender parts. Go right ahead. After Greg Abbott tried to stop the blender, and then Biden said, well, I'm not going to actually because I'm ineffective and weak. So instead I'll say, hey, Republicans, if you really care about blending babies, then maybe you'll accept my compromise and then we could like hit him with big bats. Oh, you won't vote for that, huh? Guess you don't care about saving America. And then so what happens? The blending, the baby blending strategy, right? What about Greg Abbott's baby blender, right? So then Greg Abbott is like, all right, well, I guess we're going to do this anyway. But then it got put on hold. But then it got unput on hold. But then it got put on hold again. Did I do that? Okay. Feel like that kind of got the gist of it, you know. Okay. Can I get some clothing gender euphoria at the end of all this and show you the goddamn pants? And then I'll end. I'll read donos tomorrow. Well, we'll see, Benjamin. Here, I'll show you. Putting pants on, right off frame. Bet you guys are thinking, wow. What if he slipped and fell? And his dick got in frame? But I would never do that. Yeah, what's up? Oh, I showed him off earlier.
I thought you said pigeon.
No, Ruben came over.
I guess so. Tried to steal her toy.
Aren't these pants nice?
Yeah. They're nice, but Ruben carried the plushy flower into my room.
Really?
From downstairs. Yeah.
Oh, little
Brought it.
Sam Porter
It was
Bridges.
So cute. He put it in a box.
Here, look, see? They've got these cute little pleats. So they work pretty well with, like, suit jackets and stuff. Show cock? I can't show cock. I can show ass. Also, this is a hemp shirt. I've never had a hemp shirt before. Do you have trouble breathing? They're a little tight right now, but they're canvas. They stretch. So I'm working on stretching them by sitting in them and being fat right now. How's it feel? I'll live. But look, wait, you can see. You can see. Hold on. See, look. Since it's one of those nicer, dressier shirts, it looks paired like just fine when paired with the jacket. See? And because they're higher rise, when you button the jacket, it doesn't have that little triangle of gray fabric. See? Finally. All right. Snazzy, thank you. Where'd you get your cool shaped glasses? Warby Parker's. Makes you look like you have a big dick and a camel toe at the same time. Do I have it too high? I didn't actually check. It's fine. What are you talking about? You can do a high rise too high, you know. I mean, you can yoink that shit. But this would look amazing with a black turtleneck sweater. Well, I do have a black turtleneck. Oh, man. Sorry. This looks very winter. Well, I'm wearing it with a charcoal shirt. All right. I gotta say, I didn't really get the high rise till recently, but you're totally right about it. Yeah. You know, you bring the line up to the belly button, and there are a lot of, you know, positive benefits to the silhouette. I like it. I just think it's sort of, you know, having the line be like at the narrowest point, you know, right here. You can like, now when you like this, you know, there's like a consistent sort of like outer curve of the chest, and then you have the taper at the waist, and then out to the hip. And I have big hips too, so that's going to happen anyway. All right, that's enough. That's enough. Just keep in mind, guys used to dress like this, you know? Well, not like I'm dressed right now, but with the high-rise pants, I mean. It's a little tight in my tummy when I sit down. So I'll work on that, you know. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. A maroon shirt would be incredible with it. Yeah. I've had a difficult time finding a nice, properly textured deep red shirt, which is what I want, like, really badly. It's easy to find red dress shirts, but it needs to be a nice, high quality. I love the black TBH. Yeah, but I'm going to a wedding soon. I want a proper button-up. Doesn't have to be like an Oxford dress shirt or whatever, just some kind of, get more accessories. I have rings. Where do I keep them? Just don't wear them that often. Perhaps burgundy. That's my favorite color. Hello. I got it. All right. Are pocket squares more of a formal thing? You know, if they look nice. Is silk in fashion for shirts? Well, it's not really whether or not it's in fashion. Silk is more of a dressy dress shirt. I would prefer something in twill or chambray. I'm always scared I won't be able to get rings off. That's why you always have to have a stick of butter on hand. All right, that's enough. I'm getting choked out by these pants. Okay, I gotta... Always have that butter on hand. I'll read donos tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to stream. I'm not going to be as tired, I promise. Sorry about the very short stream. I genuinely don't know why I'm so tired. I slept okay. So yeah, I just don't know why that is. It happens. I'm going to send you over to Conyer, okay? So make sure you ask them, how do you do? You know, you guys know the rules. All right. Take care. I'll see you soon.